that's going to fix everything in your life. Well, you're on the wrong video. Because there isn't one cure that's going to fix everything in your home and the energy of your home. When people come into my world, they ask me, how do I know if my house is bad feng shui? And I'm like, well, I know your house is bad feng shui when you tell me a little bit about what's going on in your life. So tell me, what's happening? How's things going in your relationship? How's your finances? How's your health? How's your career? And pretty soon, after a few minutes, I'm like, oh, yeah, feng shui is pretty good in certain areas and not so good in other areas. Now, when it comes to feng shui cures, there's like a massive misunderstanding about the entire practice. This practice has come all the way from the east to the west, and with that, it gets watered down and completely misinterpreted. So what is seen as some of the feng shui cures, and I'm going to talk about some cures that I've heard of in the past that I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't do them, and I teach this stuff, to ones that are tried and true and really are going to benefit you. So keep listening if you want to learn about what feng shui is, how it really works, and some of the cures that you literally that may have tried or seen and be like, I tried this and it didn't work. And I'm like, well, so some of those things that I've seen in the past are feng shui bracelets. And I've seen ads for them. People have asked me questions. I bought this feng shui bracelet and nothing has changed in my life. And I'm like, well, that's because feng shui is actually acupuncture for your home. And by wearing a bracelet on your body, it might make you feel good, but it's not necessarily going to be the be-all feng shui cure. And it isn't a feng shui cure, in my honest opinion. Because when I work with feng shui, on a detailed level with my clients, it is all about the balancing of the 5 elements in your home. So what are those 5 elements and those cures that we would use for our clients on a professional basis would be fire element. So in some of my videos, you may see me saying, avoid, minimize fire. But in some aspects, in a specific person's home, fire can be really great because it can bring more energy. It generates energy. It's passion, and that energy is very good for a certain area. Does this mean that you should run out and put red all over your home? Please don't, because it could lead to aggression and anger and frustration energetically in your mood, your energy, and in your life. The second element is water element. Water element is the element that is like flow and balance, and you've seen and maybe heard that when you get water element, some people are saying, oh, put a water feature in some corner of your home. I'm like, for me, from my professional opinion, don't get a water feature unless a professional tells you to place a water feature in your home. And this is where this watered down element comes in, because where something is seen as very beneficial for some of my clients, I've seen them get pay rises, new jobs, like absolutely phenomenal, more flow, more money, more abundance in their lives when they've accurately placed it when they need it. You don't need a water feature if it's not recommended, and it could actually do the opposite. In a previous video of mine, I talked about a home that the woman had water all over, pictures of water features, water outside her house, and they were literally in the most dire financial situation of their lives. It was absolutely terrible. So when you've heard about these cures, like I'm going to put one outside my house, and I'm like, oh, please don't do it. The next thing I would say to you is the next element that we work with is earth element. And earth element is actually stones, like physical stones or crystals. And earth element is a very powerful element, and it can be amazing when it's accurately located. So I would say to you, again, don't go off getting loads of stones and putting them around their house, or building a mountain outside your house with gold stones. I've seen this before, and I'm like, I don't know where that came from or what school of feng shui that comes from, but there are different schools of feng shui. And if you want to get results with feng shui, you have to use one that is tried and tested and that gets results. So if you come onto this channel, you're also going to see all of the success stories from my clients. And this isn't, they are actually accurately adding the remedies in as prescribed. What I'm going to talk about in a little bit more is about the things that you can do right now without me having your remedy, your personal report done, that's going to definitely make a difference energetically to your house. So, but I want to continue with the elements. So we've talked about fire, we've talked about water, we've talked about earth. Wood. So wood element, which is plants, and this can really throw a lot of people off, because when you hear like wood element in your home, don't have too much wood element. But when we talk about wood, we don't mean wooden floors, wooden furniture, wooden, like not too much wood, because that's actually dead. It's not alive. It's not growing. And when we bring wood element or plant, it's actually plants into your home, they can be very beneficial. But I have worked with clients when I've gone into their house and seen so many plants, like it's way too much wood element. And actually, think about wood in terms of like plants, and if plants are in the earth, how they can like disturb the roots of the earth. So if we needed, in terms of the balancing of the energies, we wouldn't, some areas in a home, it would be a bad place to have plants or have excess plants. Now, plants are amazing upward growing plants we recommend in Feng Shui, and that's the fourth element that we would work with clients. In terms of, these are the cures that I work with my clients day in, day out in balancing and harmonizing their home. And there is one fifth one, which is never really talked about. It is metal element. And metal element really is the most potent and powerful one. And I've had people ask me, well, you know, I've seen my friend, she's done your powerhouse program, she's added metal element to her home, like where should I put it in my home? And I'm like, I don't know. And it's really important to recognize that when we are analyzing someone's home, it's not just I'm tuning in, I'm actually getting the energy that your house is built, the shape of your house, the details, what's going on energetically, and analyzing them and being like, oh, this is what's happened. And these incredible Feng Shui masters divinated this practice and the analysis. So we do run numbers, and each of these elements are interacting in all of the 9 areas of your home. And just like acupuncture. So your body has the energy flowing. You go to the acupuncture, they use little metal needles. Now, would you just Google putting acupuncture needles in your body? Would you do it? I certainly wouldn't chance it. I might look up and see acupressure and go, oh, it's okay for me to press here, but I'm not going to poke a metal needle into my body and expect a miracle, because I could possibly kill myself if I did that. It would be very dangerous and not good at all, because I don't have any of the experience and wisdom of a qualified acupuncturist. So metal element is the other element that's used, and it is literally the most balancing, harmonizing element that's brought into a home when we work on someone's house report. So please don't go off and try and get those elements and put them around your home. I've had people say to me, oh, I've got the elements and I'm putting 5 in every area. And I'm like, oh my God, imagine putting all of them together. And think about the reason that Feng Shui works so powerfully is that when we look out into nature, we see how it all interacts perfectly. The water, the earth, the wood, the mountains, it's all interaction, and the metal is brought from the earth. All of these are elements from nature. And what we are trying to do when we're doing Feng Shui is we bring the specific elements into specific areas to recreate that harmonious cycle and flow within each area of your home. So I hope that this has demystified Feng Shui cures for a minute and given you a bit of like oh wow, this is way more detailed and precise and specific than what I've seen on Google. And exactly, as I said, you wouldn't put the needles in your body, so why would you put fire element randomly in your home if you were just like, oh, I think it'll bring more money, or some water, because it could do exactly the same as poking a needle into your body. The next thing when it comes to just cures in general, what's really good practices when it comes to Feng Shui is making sure that your home has no friction points. And what do I mean by friction points? I mean by areas like, your house is talking to you. Every squeak, every little thing that's broken, things that are chipped, things that are not working, they are all depleting the energy of your home. It's just like, you're not going to go out wearing ripped clothes all over your body. Like, fashionable rips are okay, but you're not going to wear like something that's all ripped or torn. You're also, thinking about from an aesthetic perspective, when it comes to feng shui, you want to make sure that that you're like loving on your home, keeping it clean, keeping it organized, like going in and a really big thing for me, people hear and think feng shui is all about decluttering. You know, your kitchen sink with the dishes on it, for me, is not what I would consider clutter. I wouldn't consider it clutter. I consider that life, because inevitably you know you're going to put the dishes in the dishwasher or clean it up and it's going to get done. The energy is changing, it's moving. Where there's stagnancy is what we're looking for in your home. And I would highly recommend you, and if you want to see a shift in your energy and energy of your home quite quickly, is to walk around your home and see the spots that it feels stagnant, that things haven't been moved, it hasn't been shifted, it's just been sitting there for a long time. That is going to literally be a little hot spot for things not flowing in that area of your life. And the same goes for into your cupboards and your drawers. If there's places that haven't been touched or looked at for 6 months, 8 months, a year. One client I had was 32 years, hadn't touched things. You know, that is stagnancy, and there's no movement and flow. And then the final thing I would say to you is really start to clean your windows, clean your front door. Your eyes, your house, the windows are the eyes of your home. The front door is the mouth of your home. You want to be able to see clearly, see what's coming at you, see where you're going, and you want to be able to really bring that chi and energy into your home, so have a nice welcoming front door. I hope this has helped you understand what feng shui cures are and how they're not necessarily what we think they are. So in my practice, there's no golden frogs with coins. If you like golden frogs with coins and it makes you feel good, get one. But it's not going to necessarily bring all the money and luck and fortune that you're looking for.